Hey everyone. In today's video, I want to talk to you about how to silence your inner critic. So, oftentimes, our inner critic is the number one thing holding us back from doing the things that we wish to do. It usually will be the main roadblock for you when it comes to reaching your goals. So, how do you silence your inner critic? Well, I want to preface this by saying that it's incredibly difficult to completely get rid of it, but you can greatly diminish the effect it has on you and even the amount of things that it says. So, one of the main keys here is to practice meditation. Meditating, as all the gurus of the past have said, is one of the best ways to silence your thoughts. And when it comes to your inner critic, the amount of criticism you're going to receive from it is pretty much going to correlate with the amount of thoughts that you have. The more often that you're thinking, the more likely you are to then have those inner critic thoughts pop up. So if you can reduce the amount of attention that you give to your thoughts, or even the amount of thoughts that you have in general, it helps a lot with this. So meditating isn't as hard as everybody likes to believe it is. I mean, a lot of people think it's a nuance because you need to set aside 10 or 20 minutes of your day, or maybe even half an hour, to just sit in a quiet place and silence your thoughts. Well, it's actually really easy to meditate, and I like to do I call it an active form, but it's not actually like an exercise form of meditation. But what I mean is, the form that I use is one that you can do at any point throughout your day. It doesn't matter where you are or what you're doing. What I like to do is just focusing on my breathing, literally breathing deeply into my diaphragm, and usually I'll count to 10 on the inhales, which makes it so that you're holding your breath at the top, which you want to do, so that way it really calms you down and reduces stress and anxiety. And then when you exhale, you want to suck in your stomach and then again hold it at the top for a few seconds. And I'll usually count from 4 to 6 seconds when exhaling. Now, when you repeat this as often as possible throughout the day, it really helps calm you down and get you into your body, so that way you're no longer focused up here. And you're going to have less thoughts. And if you are in the moment where you're being super critical on yourself, this will silence those thoughts. So it helps a lot. And whenever you catch yourself beating yourself up, just start breathing deeply. It'll help a lot. Now, besides meditating, another thing that really helps with silencing your inner critic is training yourself to be more positive. So one thing I like to do for this is to catch myself when I'm being too negative. And usually it's when you notice yourself beating yourself up. Now, it takes a lot of self-awareness to do this, so it can be kind of hard, but just maybe write it down on a notepad somewhere, or a post-it note that you have on your computer monitor or on your mirror in the mornings, or just somewhere where you can remind yourself to pay attention to the times when you're beating yourself up with your thoughts. Because once you're aware of it, you can then start tackling it, and basically what you want to do is you want to refute those thoughts. So whenever you're being overly negative against yourself and you're beating yourself up, notice that you're doing it and then reject that behavior and reject those thoughts. Simply don't tolerate that from that little voice in your head. So I'll literally just ignore that voice if I notice it, or I'll straight up at times tell it it's wrong, or I'll tell it to shut up, or basically do anything needed to get it to stop having power over me. And I'll even say stuff like that. So you just want to train yourself to catch those thoughts where you're beating yourself up, and then simply brush them aside and not let them have any power over you. So that will help immensely. And then at the end of the day, just train yourself to be more in your body throughout the day. This ties back into meditation, but you can just do this by literally, whenever you're somewhere, just focus on how your limbs feel. I know it sounds kind of weird, but just focus on how your body feels. Focus on your feet touching the ground, or maybe if you're holding something in your hand, feel how it feels to hold that thing. Or maybe if you're sitting in a chair, feel how it feels to have your back and your butt against the chair, and just become more in tune with your body. It helps so much with getting out of our heads and silencing that inner critic. Because when you're not thinking, you can't beat yourself up, right? I mean, if you're completely in the moment, completely 100% in the moment, you're focused on things out here or your body, you're not thinking anymore. So you literally cannot beat yourself up when you're living in your body. So this is huge, and I urge you all to practice that. Another thing that can help with this is just being more in tune with your emotions. So feeling your emotions in the moment and trying to pinpoint where they're originating in your body. For instance, anxiety for me originates in my stomach area. So if I'm feeling anxious, I'll kind of allow myself to feel that knot in my stomach, and it gets you out of your head. So I hope these tips help you, but they've helped me a lot, and now I can say that my inner critic doesn't really stop me from doing anything anymore. If I want to do something and it tells me I can't do it, I just say, watch me, and then I go do it anyway. So I hope these tips will help you do the same thing, will help you build the right mentality needed to tackle your life with consciousness. Anyway, I hope this video helped, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Arrivederci!